Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Houston Rocket basketball is back. Basketball is back, baby. It's a good time right now. It is a very good time right now. So if you guys enjoy this video, be sure to hit that like button, hit that sub button. I post Rockets content every single day. I post NBA content every single day. I know you guys would like the channel. First off, Rocket Nation, you guys got my video to almost 200 likes yesterday, so thank you guys so much. I was not anticipating that. Let's aim for 100 likes on today's video. Be sure to hit the subscribe button, like button. It really helps out the algorithm. I've got all my links, my socials down below as well. Let's get into it. I want to talk about some of my takeaways from last night's game because I haven't watched. This year has been a little bit different. I haven't really been watching too many Rocket videos. I haven't been really reading too many articles in the last couple of weeks. I mean, it was a pretty dead time in the off season, but for the first preseason game, even for like just the whole preseason, I kind of want to I just want to be an observer almost, if that makes sense. Like I watched every game last season, live streamed almost every game last season, and shout out my OGs. And it was just so disastrous that I'm having so much fun watching the squad play basketball. And the summer league was awesome, and from what I saw from training camp, that was awesome too. It looked very exciting, and I've been hyping these boys up for months now, and they definitely lived up to it, like 100%. I know it's just the preseason, but scoring 125 points in your first preseason game, it's just such a breath of fresh air, and I think everyone in the post-James Harden era can totally attest to that. Like, last night's win just felt so good, even though it's just a preseason game. A win is a win to me, and for morale, it was awesome. So the first takeaway I had last night was the three-pointers. Last season, the Houston Rockets were, I believe, they weren't dead last, but they were definitely in the later, like, bottom five of the league for three-point shooting. And it's not I'm not even really necessarily talking efficiency. I'm talking like made shots, attempts per game, like just the whole shebang when it comes to three-point shooting. And one of the huge issues I had with the Rockets heading into the season was, like, why'd you get rid of Sterling Brown, who was your best three-point shooter last season? You're going to go into the starting lineup with John Wall and KPJ as your 1-2, and as a duo, that's like a 32% three-point efficiency shooting as a duo right there, so that's not good. Obviously, John Wall isn't going to be a part of the Houston Rockets any longer. We'll talk about KPJ here in just a second, but I mean, it's looking like three-point shooting isn't going to be an issue. They took 38 attempts last night. Feels good to be back. 15 mades for 39.5% efficiency rate from deep. So looking at it per player, I saw a lot. I know Jalen Green went 0 for 6, but a lot of them were good looks. They'll start to fall. Christian Wood went 1 of 1. Eric Gordon went 2 of 3. Just good to see those guys remain consistent from the three-point arc. KPJ, though, is just, to me, he was almost the biggest shocker. Was not only did he go 25, 4, and 5, and I know 28 minutes preseason, but still, like, I might draft KPJ in the second round of my fantasy basketball playoffs, or of my fantasy basketball league. Like, don't tell anybody. My first round, even. If I'm later first round, who knows? I'm just kidding, but KPJ just shooting 5 of 10 from deep after not necessarily shooting the ball well in the G League, came to the Houston Rockets, was not a necessarily good three-point shooter for Houston last season. That was kind of one of his turnovers and three-point shooting. It wasn't. Those were just like the two downsides last season for him. He shot 31% last year, for context, and then in his rookie year he shot 33.5%, which I guess is better, but he also doubled his three-pointers attempts per game last season, so keep that in mind as well. 5 to 10 though, man. I know he's been working hard in the lab, and I know they've been saying that KPJ, what did he focus on? What did you focus on this offseason? Shooting, 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 shooting. And I know he worked with a lot of good shooting coaches, and it looks like it's all coming together, man. It really does. Like 9 of 17 from the field. Yeah, there were 4 turnovers, but that's something I'd be willing to live with if he's going to be a very efficient or just an efficient 3-point shooter. So oh man, what a phenomenal game by Kevin Porter Jr. last night. Usman Garuba also threw in a 3-pointer. My favorite statistic, all but 3 players on the Houston Rockets attempted a 3, which is a little surprising when I tell you who the 3 who didn't were. Jayshawn Tate, really wanted to see if Jayshawn Tate had a jump shot. Alfred Şengün, we've seen him take a couple of threes, 5 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. If you guys want to go watch my recap video, go watch my recap video. Last video I posted. And then Dante Exum, all those guys played at least 8 minutes. So, to me, Armani Brooks, he made a 3. DJ made 2 threes. Josh Christopher made 3 for 3. Josh Christopher, first off, I feel like I didn't give him enough credit in the last video, in my recap video. I mean, he 11, 2 and 2, 4 or 5 shooting, 3 from deep, 8 minutes. Played 8 minutes. Yeah, there were 3 turnovers, so it was a little bit sloppy, but for the most part, all the rookies except Usman Garuba struggled with turnovers last night. So, I mean, first real speed game, really, Summer League, I don't really even want to count it. So, you saw 3-pointers attempted by Daniel House Jr., KJ, Dave Nwaba, Garuba, like I mentioned. So, 3-point shooting, it's nice to see that that's a thing this year. Or hopefully. Christian Wood, next up. This was huge, man. I stumbled. This was something I noticed, during the game. But Christian Wood's defense, especially his just the way he was switching. I'm trying to think of this guy's Twitter account so you can go find it real quick. ITAMAR_17_10. He posted a series of highlights of Kyle Kuzma. 6 attempts from Kyle Kuzma last night, taking 3-pointers with Christian Wood when the Rockets played 2 bigs. And as he pointed it out, I mean, lack of communication or laziness, Kyle Kuzma was open almost every time he took a 3, especially in the first quarter, it was horrible. I mean, Christian Wood was nowhere to be seen. And it's so weird because for me, I'm such a supporter of Christian Wood playing at the 4 just so he's not taking a beating every night. But defensively, towards the end of the season, we didn't really have too many issues with Christian Wood, compared to the start of the season. Honestly, guys, I don't think this is going to be something to worry about. I know last night was super weird. And like I said, it's going to take Christian a little bit more time because he played the 5 all year last year for the most part. And you're not guarding guys like Kyle Kuzma at the 5. That's not what's going to happen. So I've seen a lot of people, especially on Twitter, and you saw it all off season too. I'm not saying that these guys are just coming out now that Christian Wood defensively was a little lazy yesterday. A lot of people have been calling for Christian Wood to go back to the 5 just for his defensive. I don't even know what word to call it, because it's not like he's it's not like he's a great defender. He has his moments, but for the most part, that is something Christian Wood really struggles with, that I don't think a lot of Houston Rocket fans talk about too much, because there's so much hope that he is going to become like such an elite defensive player, because that's what he says he's going to do, and I'll trust Christian Wood. So I really don't. If this is going to be an issue all season, we'll see it immediately. You'll see it very soon. Throughout the rest of the preseason, you'll be like, oh, okay, so this is an area we need to address, or Christian Wood needs to address. Like, they need to figure something out here. But I really think a large portion of it hasn't played the 4 in a very long time, and also you're just there with new players, a new group, new team. You're out there with Daniel Tice. Never played with Daniel Tice. He's never really in Houston, he hasn't really played with a legitimate center. I mean, maybe Justin Patton, but Rocket OGs know who Justin Patton is. It's just like, it's something to monitor. I really don't think it's too big of a deal. I think it's something to monitor. Let me know your guys' thoughts. Lastly, Daniel Tice, I was so wrong, man. I was just so wrong about the Daniel Tice signing. Actually, maybe not, but 29 years old. It's not the end of the world. He's here for a couple of years. Pretty decent salary. I think that he's going to help us defensively tremendously. Like, I really do. 12 points, 5 rebounds for him. He's going to help rebounding the ball. He's just having him as a presence down there. It's going to do a lot for the Rockets defensively, especially. So I really like the damn Tice signing. And at first I was like, what the frick are they doing, man? Like, what? Getting rid of Kelly Olynyk, bringing in Daniel Tice. At first it didn't make sense to me. And then it, obviously I've really come around the corner. So that's it for today, guys. Hit the like button, hit that sub button. Let's try and get this video to 100 likes. If you guys are still watching, you might like my second channel. The link is directly in the bio. I'm trying to post daily videos, kind of like lifestyle vlogs, that type of stuff. So check that out. My Twitter's in the bio. All my socials are in the bio. So see you guys later.